I think it's a good time to reflect on the good, the bad, and the ugly of the 2025 NFL offseason.
ESPN.com grading every team's offseason. What did it give Saints?
They gave him an F, didn't they?
D.
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 Now that NFL teams are inching closer to finalizing their 53-man rosters, how about we dive into our final 2025 NFL offseason grades for all 32 teams. Arizona Cardinals, B+. The Cardinals bolstered their front seven by signing Josh Sweat and reuniting with Calais Campbell before using their first-round pick on Walter Nolan. And to put the cherry on top of the defensive makeover, Arizona snagged Michigan corner Will Johnson, widely projected to be a first-round pick in round 2. Atlanta Falcons, B. Atlanta focused entirely on defense this offseason, and rightfully so. They landed veteran stalwart Leonard Floyd and got aggressive on day one of the draft to snag not one, but 2 edge rushers in Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. The defense has been revamped, and Michael Penix Jr. is ready for his opportunity to shine. Baltimore Ravens, A. The Ravens extended Derrick Henry after a marvelous first year in Baltimore, snagged former Packers All-Pro cornerback Jair Alexander on a laughably cheap one-year deal worth $4 million, and then used their first-round pick on Georgia safety Malachi Starks. Oh yeah, sign us up. Buffalo Bills, C+. Buffalo locked up Josh Allen on a 6-year extension worth $330 million, got Joey Bosa on a low-risk, high-reward one-year deal, and added another speedy weapon in ex-Charger Josh Palmer. Pretty good, we'd say. We weren't super hot on the Maxwell Hairston pickup in round 1, but hey, we suppose he fills a position of need. Carolina Panthers, C-. The Panthers did little to address a defense that finished dead last in scoring last year. Cutting co-team sack leader Jadeveon Clowney certainly was a decision, as was committing $117 million in free agency to 3 average defensive players in Trayvon Merrick, Tershawn Wharton, and Bobby Brown. Chicago Bears, A+. The Bears got the top candidate in this year's head coach hiring cycle in Ben Johnson. Victory number 1. Victory number 2, bolstering the horrific O-line by acquiring Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman, and Jonah Jackson. And then victory number 3, they loaded up more on offense by taking tight end Colson Loveland and wideout Luther Burden III with your first 2 picks. Cincinnati Bengals, C. The only thing saving Cincy from a lower grade are the extensions for star wideouts Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Otherwise, the rest was awful. Cleveland Browns, C+. Only time will tell if passing on Travis Hunter and trading down was the right call. But it is hard not to get excited about the prospect of number 5 pick Mason Graham and Myles Garrett terrorizing opposing QBs for years to come. Getting Garrett extended was a mega win too. Now, how about that media darling of a QB room that is Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel? Dallas Cowboys, D. Jerry Jones made the mind-boggling decision to promote from within and make Brian Schottenheimer his new head coach. Then he bungled the Micah Parsons contract negotiations to the point where the all-pro linebacker wants out. Zach Martin retired. 1,000-yard rusher Rico Dowdle signed with Carolina. Reliable backup Cooper Rush left for Baltimore. Oh, and Dallas really reached for Alabama guard Tyler Booker with the number 12 pick. If not for the savvy George Pickens blockbuster trade, Dallas would have an F here. Denver Broncos, A+. The Broncos strengthened their stingy defense even more by signing ex-49er star Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw, before using their first-round pick on Texas corner Jahdae Barron. Oh, and Cortland Sutton got his long-term extension. Detroit Lions, C. Losing standout cornerback Carlton Davis in free agency hurt, but they found an adequate replacement in DJ Reed. We didn't love their draft, particularly reaching for Tyleek Williams at number 28. Losing Frank Ragnow to retirement is also a big blow to the O-line. Green Bay Packers, B+. The Packers made a couple of big splashes in free agency, bringing in cornerback Nate Hobbs and standout guard Aaron Banks. And for the first time since 2002, the Packers used a first-round pick on a wide receiver by selecting Texas's Matthew Golden with the number 23 pick. That finally filled the last pressing need on their roster. Houston Texans, C. Houston reshaped its receiver room by letting Stephon Diggs walk and using day 2 picks on Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. That part we dig, but we don't like the makeover on the O-line. They cut ties with 3 starters and Laramie Tunsil, Shaq Mason, and Kenyon Green. Indianapolis Colts, D. Committing nearly $65 million in guaranteed money to average-level defensive backs Cameron Bynum and Charvarius Ward? Ooh. And yet, not even the worst part of the offseason. The O-line, the team's strength for the better part of the last 5 years, lost Ryan Kelly and Will Fries in free agency. Giving Daniel Jones $14 million for 1 year? Who the hell else was bidding for him? Only reason this isn't enough? Well, we liked Indy's draft haul. It's specifically tight end Tyler Warren and defensive end JT Tuimoloau. Jacksonville Jaguars, B. The Jags' first big move was hiring Liam Cohen as their new head coach. We'll see if the blockbuster trade-up for Travis Hunter pays off, but we're at least confident in he, Trevor Lawrence, and Brian Thomas Jr. in forming a special foundation on offense. Kansas City Chiefs, B. The Chiefs traded Joe Thuney to clear up cap space and lost standout safety Justin Reed in free agency. Their biggest splash was ex-49ers offensive tackle Jalen Moore in free agency on a 2-year, $30 million deal. Juju Smith-Schuster, Kareem Hunt were both retained on cheap deals, and we love the first-round pick of Ohio State offensive tackle Josh Simmons, who looks like a day-one starter after a superb training camp. Las Vegas Raiders, A+. The Raiders hired a future Hall of Fame head coach in Pete Carroll and Super Bowl winning executive John Spytek as the GM. That was the beautiful start to it all. Then they got their quarterback by acquiring Pro Bowler Geno Smith via trade with the Seattle Seahawks. Generational running back and 6th overall pick Ashton Jeanty added even more fuel to the offense. The Raiders are finally on a path to relevance again. Los Angeles Chargers, A-. The Bolts' main objective was bolstering the arsenal of weapons around Justin Herbert. They brought back old friend Keenan Allen and 4-time 1,000-yard rusher Najee Harris in free agency before using their first 2 picks on Omari and Hampton and Trey Harris. Los Angeles Rams, B. The Rams' biggest swap was releasing Cooper Kupp and replacing him with future Hall of Famer Devontae Adams. Jonah Jackson was traded in a cap-saving move, and Les Snead moved out of the first round by giving up the number 26 pick to the Falcons. Otherwise, it's the same core from last year's group that was this close to taking down the eventual champion Eagles in the divisional round. Miami Dolphins, C. In come Minkah Fitzpatrick and Darren Waller. Out go Johnny Smith and Jalen Ramsey. Even if you think that cancels out, it's hard to see how Miami got better this offseason. Minnesota Vikings, A+. After their offensive line was annihilated by the Rams in their wildcard round loss, many looked to Indy for help, signing ex-Colt star interior lineman Will Fries and Ryan Kelly. That was the first big win. The second was signing star defensive tackles Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave to bolster an already dangerous pass rush, and that's to say nothing of Byron Murphy's team-friendly extension. New England Patriots, A+. Man, where to start? The Mike Vrabel hiring was a stroke of genius by Robert Kraft, and that was only the start. The Pats went nuts in free agency as well, signing all-pro wideout Stephon Diggs, star pass rusher Milton Williams, and Harold Landry, and ball hockey corner Carlton Davis. Think Drake may like the Pats going with Will Campbell, Trayvon Henderson, and Kyle Williams as their top 3 picks? Yeah, us too. New Orleans Saints, D. The only reason the Saints don't get an F is that they're well suited to finally tank and get a top QB next year. Yeah, the tank was on once Derek Carr retired. New York Giants, B+. The Giants signed 2 safe bridge quarterback options in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. But their big QB move was moving up for Ole Miss product Jackson Dart. Hey, either of them will be an upgrade over Daniel Jones. But their best move was taking Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter with the number 3 pick. New York Jets, B+. The Jets had no choice but to move on from Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. But was Justin Fields the right choice at QB? Well, only time will tell. We dig the Aaron Glenn hiring at head coach, though. Getting Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson signed long-term were mega wins for rookie GM Darren Mucci, too. Philadelphia Eagles, C+. Howie Roseman was never going to keep the entire band together, but most of the nucleus remains intact. Getting Alabama linebacker Jahad Campbell at the number 32 pick could be a real coup. Easily Roseman's best offseason addition. Pittsburgh Steelers, A+. The Steelers brought in 4-time MVP Aaron Rodgers, superstar wide receiver DK Metcalf, all-pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey, Pro Bowl tight end Jonnu Smith, and locked down an extension with franchise face TJ Watt. San Francisco 49ers, D-. Yikes. After a last-place finish in the NFC West, the cap-strapped 49ers lost Deebo Samuel, Aaron Banks, Talanoa Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, Leonard Floyd, Charvarius Ward, and Javon Hargrave. Mercy. Seattle Seahawks, B-. It felt like Geno Smith at his peak in Seattle, so we loved the bold decision to ship him out and sign Sam Darnold instead. What we didn't like was overpaying for Cooper Kupp after trading DK Metcalf and cutting fan favorite Tyler Lockett. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, B. The Bucs kept the core together with 2 notable changes: the arrival of veteran edge rusher Hassan Reddick and the departure of offensive lineman Robert Hainsey. Tampa Bay also expects plenty from its top 2 picks, wide receiver Emeka Egbuka and cornerback Benjamin Morrison. Tennessee Titans, C. The Titans did what everyone expected and used the number 1 pick on Miami QB Cam Ward. That doesn't really count as a bold move, though, and we didn't care for the rest of their offseason moves. Seriously, in what universe is ex-Steeler Dan Moore worth $82 million? Washington Commanders, A+. Slick and smooth by the 2024 NFC runner-ups. They re-signed Bobby Wagner and paired him with another future Hall of Famer, Von Miller, on a no-risk one-year deal. The Jaden Daniels-led offense saw two beautiful additions to the O-line: ex-Texans Pro Bowler Laramie Tunsil and prized rookie Josh Connerly Jr. out of Oregon. Washington also got All-Pro wideout Deebo Samuel for pennies from San Fran, filling their need for a number 2 receiver. But which NFL team do you think had the best 2025 offseason? Let us know in the comment section below. If y'all like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.